What is going on? It is the Obscurist Tourist, and today I come to you from the road. I will be driving a stranger's car from Toronto, Canada, all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. A stranger's car, you say? Not just any car. This is a Mercedes-Benz E-Class, 2017, I believe. An amazing automobile, and I am so excited to drive it. What I assume to be, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 4,000 kilometers across North America. Why am I driving a stranger's car? Well, listen, I got about 5 days to tell you because I have a flight to catch on Friday. Today is Monday, so I gotta go. Let's go together. So I am about 5 minutes away from the border, and the border has been closed. The ground border has been closed to non-essential traffic forever, but even though I'm driving a car today, I am considered essential. An essential service. So I should be able to get over the border, no problem. Just hope all my paperwork is in order. So fingers crossed. And there it is. That is the U.S. border. Right here in Port Huron. So you smell that? You know what that is? That's the smell of freedom. I've made it to America. Yes. So long, Michigan. Hello, Indiana. I'm right at the corner of Jackson Street and Jackson Family Boulevard. Here in Gary, Indiana, is the house. The childhood home of Michael Jackson and the rest of the Jackson crew. Some Michael fans have written some messages of love right outside. There's the backyard. Kind of a nice place. Small but nice. Hello, dear. It's funny, when I got out of my car to check out the Jackson abode, the house across the street, directly across the street, was pumping Smooth Criminal. Oh my God. Psst, psst. Hey kitty, come here. Scared of me. Are you gonna be my friend? Check it! I'm in Missouri! Well, that is all she wrote for me tonight. I spent a very, very long day driving. I can't even talk. I think I drove about almost 1,400 kilometers, which is, I think it's almost 15 hours of driving. Just crazy. This is my hell day, as I call it. I'll explain all of this to you in the way I approach driving on these long trips. Anyway, this is, look at that. Just me and some big rigs somewhere in Missouri. Until tomorrow, I'll check in. Day one, done. So I ended up sleeping in the car last night because, well, I needed to get off the highway. I was pretty tired. I'm still looking pretty rough. I'm hideous. Look away. Anyway, we got another long drive. We will be passing through Arkansas and dreaded Oklahoma. Boy, is that a boring drive. So Bear with me. See that right there? The number on the top? That is exactly how many kilometers I drove yesterday. 1,405.4. And our first stop today is right behind me. Right there. Uranus. The Uranus Fudge Factory. Here in Uranus, Missouri, on Route 66. Really loving their sense of humor here. They get it. Right up my alley. You can even get hand-dipped ice cream and wieners in Uranus? And up there is right back there is the Uranus City Jail. And what is a jail without a police department? Uranus Police Department to serve and protect Uranus. And this will demonstrate where we're going today. This was my goal yesterday, and right now I just stopped up the road, had a little sleep there, and we will be going not yet to Oklahoma City, but around here, another 3-hour drive away, is Eureka Springs in Arkansas. And I think ultimately today we will end up in Amarillo. So this is the goal. And of course, we will be going all the way to Flagstaff and then straight down. What's down there? Nothing. Ground. But that's Phoenix. I've made it to lovely Arkansas. It is day 3 and I am well rested. Still early in the morning. It is 8 a.m. And I am in one of my favorite places in America, Eureka Springs in Arkansas. I bet you never thought that I would say that a place in Arkansas would be one of my favorite, but it is. Just a cool place. One day I'm going to do a video on it, I promise. Today is not that day, because I gotta go. I gotta hit the road. Sad to say goodbye to Arkansas, but hello to Oklahoma. And right behind me, let's see if I can show it to you, is a classic Route 66. Look at that. It's the blue whale of Catoosa, Oklahoma. Check it out. It is a real bona fide Route 66 roadside attraction built in the 1970s. As an anniversary gift, the blue whale turned into a swimming park, which ultimately closed in 1988. See another angle of the blue whale. Kind of grinning. And, to be honest, dude looks a little stoned. Love this Route 66 destination sign. Been to most of those places, and these are the places we're on our way to. Tucumcari, Albuquerque, Holbrook. Here's a little trick for all of you Canadians looking to prepay for gasoline at the pump, but you don't want to go inside and pay for it because it costs you valuable time. See this right here? Enter 5-digit zip code. I'm Canadian. I don't have a zip code, but guess what? You can enter the numbers in your actual postal code ending in 00, and it works just like that. Well, I wasn't actually planning to make another stop in Oklahoma. I was just going to roll right into Texas But then I saw this place right here. Stopped to get some water, and check that out. That's the Glancy Motel here in Clinton, Oklahoma. And what a glorious, glorious sign from the 50s. Just look at this sign. That has got to be about 35 feet tall. Man, that's cool. More pool views. Oh, there's a little water in there. Anyone fancy a dip? Maybe not. So it is about 10 p.m. at night. This is day 3, day 4. I think it's day 3. I can't remember. The one thing I have to say about driving long distances, like what I'm doing right now, is you progressively just get more and more tired, and every day starts to run into each other until you just don't know when or where you are. Anyway, I am in Amarillo, Texas, and I didn't really want to drive this far, but I also didn't want to stay in Oklahoma more. So, no offense, Oklahomans, but your state is kind of boring. So, I'm here in Texas. And I don't know if this is a regular thing or I just keep lucking out, but every time I stay in Texas, I get a room, and the room is like the biggest place in the world. Look at this place. It's massive, and there's this huge amount of dead space. I guess it's true. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the rooms. Anyway, good night. I am so excited because I am about to enter New Mexico, which means that I gain an hour. It is now 8 a.m. and when I cross there, right behind me, see my car back there? A little white thing? That's in New Mexico. And that's 7 a.m. right now. But I'm standing in 8 a.m. time. How cool is that? That's one of the great things about driving east to west, is the time that you gain. And look at this place. I am in the ghost town of Glen Rio, Texas. Right here on Route 66. So cool. So when I checked out of my hotel this morning, motel in Amarillo, Texas, they handed me this bag. Look at this. Thank you. A little thank you bag. I'm going to show you what's inside of it because I am looking at it. Kind of weird. What does that say about me that I was handed a bag and I didn't look at it till now, which is like an hour later? Let's see. What do we got in here? That is something that, yikes, a sausage biscuit. Dude, how long do you think this sausage has been packaged in this thing? From Rudy's Farm. Yeah. We also got, to wash down that sausage, a banana. Browning. Okay. And last but not least, a cinnamon horn. Not a cinnamon bun, a cinnamon horn. These are all very, very odd things to give me as a parting gift. I'm gonna give this a go though. Cinnamon horn. Who knew? It's kind of interesting. I have been driving for a little over 3 days, and I have not seen the sun, maybe for a few seconds, but the moment I crossed the New Mexican border The sun came out. Look at this. What a glorious day. It's there, $44.95. I always found it pretty odd, but the further west you go on these drives, the cheaper the motels become. And the motels weirdly don't become worse. They become actually better. This is one of my favorite places to stay when I find the time to stick around and spend the night in Tucumcari. This is the Motel Safari. Oh man, and how exciting is this? I am so excited. I always know I've made it when I see my first cacti. Look at these little guys. I am so happy right now. Nice to see you guys. So I just arrived in Albuquerque and I just had to do it. I had to see it for myself. Look right behind me. Right over there. What is that? You see that? That is the entrance to Jesse Pinkman and Jane's adjacent apartments from Breaking Bad. How cool is that? Jesse and Jane's place. Rental apartments. Huh. So before leaving Albuquerque and heading off to my next destination today, which is ultimately Gallup, New Mexico, I thought I would make one last stop. And yes, it is another Breaking Bad stop. Check that out, right behind me. Twisters. You know what that is, though? That is Los Pollos Hermanos. That's what it was when the show was filming. And by the looks of it, I can't tell if it's still open. It looks kind of abandoned. It's the middle of the day here, and there's absolutely nobody here. But there it is, Los Pollos Hermanos. Well, I drove extra long today and skipped a few things because I was convinced, or I had my heart set on staying at this place, the Hotel El Rancho. I've never stayed here before, but I just had a feeling that this place is awesome. And I just checked in, and holy heck, this place is insane, and I can't wait to show you around. After a long day's driving, this is a nice little treat here in Gallup, New Mexico. Almost forgot where I was right there. Yes, as you can read, this is a National Historic Site. And look at those doors. Let's go in. Let's take a peek. Wow. How crazy is this place? Look at that. Just another day in Gallup, New Mexico. All of these motels just abandoned. All right, so it's time to answer that burning question, which I'm sure all of you are just dying to know. And that is, why the heck is a guy like me driving a stranger's car all across America? Well, the answer to that starts back in 1999 when I started working for a drive-away company. Now, a drive-away company is basically, they are brokers to help find drivers for snowbirds who are relocating to their vacation homes down south for the winter. So basically, a drive-away company will pay you to drive a car down south my first trip was to Miami, Florida, mostly Florida, but lately I have been doing, for the past 6 years, I have been driving to California and Arizona. So, if you want to see America and you want to experience the freedom of life on the road in somebody else's car with gasoline paid for a few days, then I highly recommend getting in touch with a drive-away company. These are all over Canada, and I'm sure that there's probably some down in Florida as well, because they're going back and forth. So I feel like there's plenty to go around. You just need to be responsible. You can't be fiddling around and messing around and doing weird things. This is an adult activity. Anyway, that's my little spiel for the day. I thought you'd like to know. Well, I have made it to Arizona, finally. After 5 days of driving, I have finally crossed the border into Arizona. And look at this. Just how insanely beautiful is this place. This is my happy place. Honestly, this gets me through every year of Ontario winters, knowing that I'll come back to the desert and immerse myself in all of this stunning beauty. I'm so excited to be back. Yes. I had to find the real welcome to Arizona sign. There it is. I'm good. How cool is that? That's gotta be 300, 400 feet tall. Very cool. And check out this little trading post right here. The Yellow Horse. Look at this place. Now, I don't know if you can see up there, right up there, there's a bevy of animals. Look at that, an eagle. Was that a warthog? A gazelle? And like all things desert, you've got to expect to find your fair share of abandoned places. And right here at the state line, this old trading shop. And how do I know I'm at the New Mexico-Arizona state line? Well, there's a convenience store. State Line Convenience Store right here in Indian City, Arizona. Just check that out. If I had time, you bet your bottom dollar. In fact, I'd spend my last dollar to try these world famous lamb ribs. And heck, why not stay for the tamales? Check it out. It's a truck orgy. Have fun, guys. Looks like they're having a blast. So considering how many times I have driven a stranger's car, you think that I would have a ton of horror stories, but I don't know if I've gotten lucky over the years, but I can only think of one, which was just an odd scenario, and that was my very first drive-away experience in 1999. I had to pick up a Lincoln Continental. You can tell how old the person was who had hired the drive-away company to come have me pick up their car in a place called Hallandale, Florida. And this place was basically, if you've watched Seinfeld, it was basically Del Boca Vista. It was just filled with 80 and 90-year-olds. and it was a gated community. Anyway, I rented a car instead of flying this time because I was bringing the car back to Toronto, and I drove all the way down there. It took me about 3-4 days. I think it took me about 3 days, actually. And I got there, and the car was just... It took me a little while to find the car, first of all, and it looked like it hadn't been used in months, actually. It was just sitting there all alone in the parking lot. Knocked on the door to the apartment unit to which I had the address, and no one answered. And I was starting to get a little bit concerned. Like, again, this was pre-internet or pre-easy access internet. I had no way of knowing how to get in touch with this guy. And after about an hour, the neighbor came home and informed me that the man whose car I was to pick up had died a week prior to me coming. How odd is that? I was picking up a dead man's car. So after driving, I think I've got to be approaching over 100,000 miles driving, crisscrossing America over the past 20 years. I've come up with a bit of a strategy as to how best to do it, how best to use your time wisely, because everything has to be timed out. And one of my strategies is when I'm driving east to west, meaning from Toronto to California, I like to get all of the boring driving out of the way. And what do I mean by boring driving? I'm talking going through Michigan, Oklahoma, Nebraska, what else? Northern Texas is pretty boring. You want to get that out of the way right away. And so I drive as long as I can to get to the West Coast. And that could be, on this particular trip, I drove 1,400 kilometers in day one. That basically got me to the border of Missouri and Arkansas. There's not much to see that I haven't seen before. There's not much to see in those states that I don't usually get to see. And I'm talking about landscape-wise, that I don't get to see in Toronto and in Ontario. So you want to get that out of the way, so you're not doing any night driving whatsoever. You want to save the days for solid sightseeing, because it is so beautiful to drive in New Mexico and Arizona and California. You don't want to spend any time whatsoever driving at night. You want to see everything. So that's my little strategy. Of course, that strategy works the opposite way coming home. You want to do shorter drives when you're going west to east, and then that last day you just blow through 1,000 miles just to get home. So that's it. Again, this has taken me years to perfect. Timing on these trips is everything. And this is a good lesson for everybody who has never driven in the desert before and they need gas. Here it is. Get gas when you see a gas station. Don't wait till you need gas, because 9 times out of 10, when you need gas, this is all you're getting. An abandoned gas station. Everything is just abandoned out here for the most part. especially if you go off the main highways. So a life lesson for you, a driving lesson. Get gas when you can. So I wanted to show you how insane this car is to drive. First of all, look at it. Look at the pink lighting. Second of all, talk about luxury. I can get a massage. What do we want here? I say get the activating massage. This is crazy. It gives me a massage while I drive. So I am finally settled in for my final night here on this road trip before I fly back to Toronto tomorrow. And I gotta say, I am totally, utterly exhausted. Not only that, I don't feel very well at all. I don't know what to say. I have a headache. I have a bit of an earache as well, and I'm just generally lethargic and a little bit wonky. A little worrying because I have to take my PCR test tomorrow before getting on my flight back to Toronto, and God forbid that I actually somehow caught COVID on this road trip. My interactions with people have been very, very minimal. I have not gotten close to anybody at all. So if I did catch COVID, I would be very surprised. But still, regardless, I would be crazy to not be worried. I'm a little worried. So hopefully things are good. Anyway, for now, good night. And fingers crossed for tomorrow. So this is it. My last day in Arizona. Not only my last day in Arizona, my last day in the United States. And I've got quite the drive ahead of me. Not the longest drive I've had to make throughout this trip. It's probably about a 4-hour drive down to Phoenix, but it's a little treacherous one because I have to drive through the mountains, the back roads of Arizona. Probably going to be the prettiest drive, so that makes up for the length and the treacherousness. If dinosaurs are your thing, and Route 66, then boy, Holbrook is the place for you. Look at that guy. How happy are these two? They love being on Route 66. Look at that coloring. Just gorgeous. And look at this guy. Looking so innocent. Who are you? Geodes are your thing. This is the place. Who's that guy? What a wuss, that Forrest. Don't know what he's scared of. And the sun is shining. Do you think I should do it? I think I should do it because I haven't yet done it. Let's do it. Let's open up the sunroof. Let's get the sun shining in on us today. One of the coolest things about Arizona is how quickly the landscape changes around you. I have been driving probably about 30 minutes from Holbrook, from complete desert, and now I'm in just outside of Show Low, Arizona, and I'm in a national forest. How crazy is that? From desert to national forest in under 50 miles. How absolutely beautiful is all of this? Look at this. I'm probably about a 2-hour drive north of Globe, Arizona, and the landscape is just stunning. This is so cool. This is the stuff that really gets me excited, is finding these little things in the middle of nowhere. This is in the middle of the Arizona mountains. Look at this. I don't know what this is. Maybe a rest stop or something. Completely. Not much left now. Look at this view, though. Check this out. Gotta watch my step here. Rattlesnake country. And it is getting real hot out here. Look at this. Could it be? It is. This is an old jail. Look at that. Still got bars up. And even inside. Look at that. Old metal bars from a jail cell. And right down there, a cot where a prisoner, probably this is where they would have housed prisoners in the middle of transport back in the 1800s when they couldn't quite make it through. Look at that. How cool is this find? Right here in the middle. I don't want to say I'm in the desert yet, but I'm getting there. I'm close. That was seriously one of the coolest finds I have come across. Just waiting in some traffic. Let's show you how far I've driven so far. The final stretch here. Look at that. 3,761 kilometers. Epic. Check out this view. How insane is this? The Grand Canyon State. And this isn't even the Grand Canyon. This is actually called the Becker Butte Lookout, dedicated to Gustav Becker from Springerville, Arizona. Man, that is just too good. That I am in Seneca Lake, because I don't really know where I am. Somewhere in the mountains in Arizona. And I was driving down the interstate and I came across this massive complex of abandoned buildings. And I assume that this was a resort at one point. Although there is not much to see inside these buildings, these are really cool. A really cool find out here in the Arizona mountains. Love this stuff. I live for this kind of thing. And I'm a sucker because even though I have somewhere to be, I can't help but stop and explore it. No need to really walk in there. I can pretty much see what we're getting. Again, look at this walkway. That is an old walkway. Kind of like an old pioneer town. I know, I keep going on about how awesome Arizona is, but these are the best. The saguaro, the magical saguaro. You go to jail if you harm any of these cacti. That's how sacred they are here. Well, I made it to Miami, folks. No, not Miami, Florida, you doyoys. Miami, Arizona. And this place is pretty much a ghost town. Most things are abandoned, even the Silverfront restaurant. Not only that, but it seems like the water has decided to vacate. This old creek, now just a dry creek bed. Well, I have made it to Phoenix. 5 long days, over 4,000 kilometers of driving, and here I am. But before I drop the car off, I have one last thing to do before I drop it off and head to the airport, and that is get a meal at In-N-Out Burger, one of my favorite places in the world. What an epic journey. For now, if any of you are planning to do a drive away, I say drive safe, be aware, and stay beautiful. Until next time, it is Obscurist Tourist. I'm going home, back to Toronto to get some shut-eye, some quality shut-eye. See you later.